They say success is for the lucky. They say wealth belongs to the chosen few. They say opportunity knocks once and vanishes if you miss it. But they are wrong. They are tired. They are asleep. And you, if you listen closely, you are waking up. Waking up to a world that rewards the man who decides to get up early, show up every day, and give the world something it cannot ignore: his effort, his discipline, his mind, and his word. The truth has never changed. You don't get rich by wishing. You don't grow by waiting. And you don't become somebody by imitating everybody. You become something when you take full responsibility for everything. Not just what you want, but who you are when no one's watching. That's where wealth begins, not in the bank, but in the mind that controls it. The secret isn't buried in a book you haven't read or a mentor you haven't met. It's in the attitude you carry before the world. An attitude that says, I may not have everything now, but I have something stronger. I have the will to earn it. That attitude shifts your life, not tomorrow, not someday, but the moment you decide to become serious about becoming better. It doesn't start with $1 million idea. It starts with the man who refuses to make the same excuse twice. The woman who looks in the mirror and says, it's time. And when that moment arrives, when you say enough is enough, when you rise to meet the weight of your own potential, you will feel the whole universe rearranging itself in your favor. Work hard, not because someone told you to, but because you owe it to the part of you that still believes. The part that remembers who you could have been before you started settling. Before you let the world soften your edge and dull your instincts. Every day you choose ease over effort. You trade your power for peace, and not even real peace, just the illusion of comfort. But when you work hard with clarity, with discipline, with purpose, success cannot help but arrive. Because success is not just an outcome. It's a shadow that follows those who move with intensity and integrity. And when it sees you building, sweating, learning, refusing to fold, it finds you. And it stays. So, if you want to get rich, start by getting rich in thought. Think with precision. Think like your future depends on it, because it does. Wealth is not made by accident. It is summoned by a mind that refuses to entertain mediocrity. Your thinking is either building your future or bankrupting your potential. Every casual thought is a withdrawal. Every disciplined thought is a deposit. Get obsessed with what you allow into your mind. Guard it like a treasure chest, because from your mind flows your words, and from your words, your behavior. And from your behavior, your destiny. Don't say you want success if you're not willing to clean your habits. Don't say you want to grow if you're not willing to cut the weeds. The truth is simple. Success doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be consistent. To show up when it's boring. To work when you're tired. To act when it's scary. Your excuses don't interest. Success, it only listens to effort. And the more you work on yourself, the more your life works for you. Because success doesn't just arrive, it is attracted to the person who becomes worthy of it. Speak like someone who means it. Because the words you speak become the house you live in. Don't talk small. Don't talk doubt. Don't talk about what you fear unless you're confronting it. Let your communication be the declaration of your future. Speak with purpose. Speak with vision. Speak like someone who has made a promise to their future self and refuses to break it. Because what you say, you hear. And what you hear, you start to believe. And what you believe, you begin to live. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who speak from the center of who they are. And the center of you is power pure, untapped, unstoppable power. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your reality. You may have dreams. You may have ambition. But if you don't have the spine to show up every day and do what's required, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. Dreams without discipline are hallucinations. Stop chasing motivation. Start chasing commitment. Because motivation may get you started, but only discipline will carry you across the finish line. Learn to love doing it tired. Learn to love doing it scared. Learn to love doing it even when no one is clapping. Because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it because the future you is already watching. Mindset is not something you have. It's something you shape. Brick by brick. Day by day. It is not given. It is built. And most people never build it because they are too busy decorating their prison. They decorate failure with excuses. They decorate stagnation with distraction. But the few, the rare, serious few, they strip everything down to what matters and begin rebuilding from the foundation. They don't wait for the perfect time. They work until time bows to their rhythm. Mindset is the weapon. And if you don't sharpen it daily, it will dull your drive, cloud your judgment, and steal your momentum. The right mindset will carry you through storms. The wrong one will drown you in a puddle. You must fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. Because if the only thing you love is the reward, you'll never make it through the pain required to earn it. You've got to learn to embrace the silence, the doubt, the grind, those quiet moments when the world doesn't believe in you, but you still do. That's where the soul grows. That's where real wealth is born. In the lonely hours, in the unseen efforts, in the battles no one claps for. You have to be the one who claps for yourself. Not because you've made it, but because you're still moving, still trying, still growing. That kind of person can't be stopped, only redirected. Your past is not your sentence. It's your syllabus. It taught you what not to do. It showed you what you must overcome. But it does not have the final word. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by what you choose to do next. And every day is a new chance to rewrite the ending. So write something worth reading. Live something worth remembering. Don't get stuck explaining your history when you could be building your future. People who talk about the past are often avoiding the responsibility of building the present. You can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. Look ahead, push ahead, stay ahead. Wealth is not just about income. It's about who you become while you earn it. A rich man with a poor character is bankrupt. A successful woman with no peace is still in poverty. True wealth is when your mind is disciplined, your heart is calm, your habits are sharp, and your values are clear. Build wealth from the inside out. Then let the world reflect what you've already become. Don't chase dollars, chase wisdom. Don't chase attention, chase mastery. Because when you master yourself, you will no longer need applause to feel worthy. You'll know, you'll feel it in your bones. And that kind of confidence, that's real wealth. And when the day comes that it feels like no one sees your effort, keep going. When the work gets heavy and your energy feels low, keep going. When doubt creeps in and whispers that you're not enough, keep going. Because success belongs to those who refuse to quit, refuse to break, refuse to lower their standard, refuse to give up on what they promised themselves. And if you promise yourself anything, make it this: I will work hard. I will work honestly. I will work like the future is counting on me, because it is. And because if you work hard, success will come to you. Work is not a punishment. It is a privilege. The chance to labor with your own two hands, with your own mind, to carve something into existence that was not there yesterday, that is the closest thing to magic we possess. Do not curse the burden of labor. Bless it. Because within the work is the transformation. Within the repetition is the rewiring of your spirit. Every swing of the hammer reshapes the builder. Every hour of honest toil purifies the intention. It is in the work that your character is tempered like steel, until your name becomes synonymous with integrity, effort, and reliability. If you work like your name is your legacy, then soon it will be. No one hands you success. That is the great myth they sell to the weak. Number. You take success. You earn it, inch by inch, brick by brick, with blistered hands, bloodshot eyes, and a soul that refuses to compromise. The universe does not reward potential. It rewards proof, and your proof is in your patterns, what you do when no one's looking, what you say to yourself when it gets hard, how you treat the people who cannot help you. That is the proof. That is the man or woman's success comes running toward. Not the loud, not the dramatic, but the consistent, the self-governed, the quietly relentless. You must stop outsourcing your destiny. Stop waiting for the government. Stop blaming the market. Stop waiting for your boss, your family, your friends to understand. Understand yourself. Trust yourself. Move yourself. Because every minute you wait for someone else's approval is a minute stolen from your own becoming. If you want to live rich, you must think independently. Wealth is always upstream from personal responsibility. The moment you accept that no one is coming to save you, you become dangerous. Because now you know it's on you. And when it's on you, nothing can stop you. Because you will rise before the rest. You will study while others sleep. You will build when others retreat. And you will win not by chance, but by design. If you want to rise, you must raise your standards. You cannot live a high life with low habits. You cannot think small and live large. Every result in your life is a mirror of your standards. What you tolerate, you become. If you tolerate lateness, laziness, shortcuts, then you are training your nervous system to settle. And what you settle for eventually settles you. But when you raise the bar, even if you fail at first, the very act of reaching begins the transformation. Raise your language. Raise your posture. Raise your routines. Let everything about you scream, I am not here to play. I am here to build a life that will outlive me. Forget comfort. Comfort is the silent killer. It whispers lies in the language of ease. It says, you deserve to relax when you haven't earned the rest. It says, it's okay to skip today when your future needed you to show up. Comfort is a seducer dressed as self-love. But discipline is the real love. It says, I believe in your future more than your feelings. Discipline is uncomfortable in the short term, but it gives you a life that feels like freedom. The man who worships comfort becomes weak. The man who confronts discomfort becomes a weapon. So run toward the fire, lean into the pressure. Let resistance forge you into a force of nature. There is no growth without friction, no progress without pressure. You don't get diamonds without cutting, fire without heat, greatness without opposition. Stop asking for an easy life. Ask for strength. Ask for stamina. Ask for clarity. Then earn it. Earn it in the silence of your daily habits. Earn it in the 1,000 decisions no one will ever see. Because those moments compound. They stack. They echo into your future. And one day, you will look back and realize it wasn't the big wins that made you. It was the invisible work, the invisible victories, the private sacrifices. That's what built the public results. You must fall in love with change. Change is not the enemy. It is the raw material of transformation. Most people fear change because they've built an identity on what's familiar. But comfort zones are cemeteries. They bury your talent. They bury your dreams. Growth demands that you step outside the known and dare to become something more than your current self-image. Reinvent yourself so often that your past can't keep up. Become so obsessed with becoming better that you confuse people who thought they already knew you. Because real change, when done right, makes yesterday unrecognizable. Your energy is your greatest currency. Guard it. Invest it wisely. Don't waste it on gossip. Don't leak it in envy. Don't spend it trying to impress those who can't see your worth. Spend your energy on your mission, on your health, on your reading, on your craft, on your future. Because where energy goes, results grow. And if you scatter your energy across every distraction, you will starve your destiny. But if you concentrate it, laser focus it, you will become a force too powerful to ignore. And that is what the world respects. Not potential, but power. Not noise, but results. You must stop living like life is a rehearsal. This is it. This is the moment. This breath. This choice. This hour. Your dreams are dying in your delay. And every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, you've buried today. But today is all you have. Success lives in now. Wealth is born in now. The version of you that creates a powerful life doesn't live in someday. He or she lives in today. Deciding, acting, building. While the others scroll. While the others complain. While the others sleepwalk through mediocrity. You, the real you, chooses action. And in that choice, you separate yourself from the masses. Comparison is a trap. It poisons your focus and weakens your ambition. You were not built to copy. You were built to create. Don't look sideways. Look forward. Look within. Comparison steals the energy meant for your evolution. While you're measuring someone else's chapter 10, you're neglecting your own chapter 1. And if you don't honor your own process, you'll sabotage your progress. Instead of saying, I wish I was where they are, say, I'm willing to go through what they did. Instead of envy, choose effort. Instead of resentment, choose resilience. That's how you rise with eyes forward, heart grounded, and spirit on fire. Success isn't just what you get. It's what you give. It's the energy you bring into every room. It's the way you uplift others, even when you're still climbing. It's the integrity you hold when shortcuts are tempting. It's the way you honor your word, even when no one's watching. Because at the end of the day, wealth is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you are while you achieve it. And if you can build a life where your results match your values, then you are rich beyond measure. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep working, keep refining. You are not behind, you are in process. You are not late, you are right on time for your own story. You are not broken, you are becoming. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't chase success, but attracts it. And how? By working harder than ever. By outlasting your weakness. By starving your distractions. And by becoming the version of yourself that success can no longer ignore. Work hard, and it will come. Not all at once, but it will come. Quietly, powerfully, inevitably. And when it comes, you won't celebrate like the world expects you to. You won't scream. You won't post it. You won't even tell many people. Because by then, success will no longer feel like a trophy. It will feel like a mirror. A mirror reflecting the work you did in silence. The nights you stayed up learning. The mornings you rose without applause. The sacrifices you made while no one understood. You won't feel lucky. You'll feel aligned. Because success didn't fall from the sky. It rose from the soil of your persistence. You didn't stumble into it. You became it. The world is obsessed with shortcuts. It glorifies hacks. But what they call shortcuts are usually delays in disguise. You don't win by skipping steps. You win by mastering them. You win by outworking the noise, by doing it properly, thoroughly, consistently. The real edge isn't some secret strategy. It's stamina. The ability to show up on the 100th day with the same fire you had on the first. It's consistency without applause. Excellence without external validation. That's the stuff champions are made of. And the reason most don't have it? Because they confuse novelty with growth. But you know better now, growth is the reward for repetition done with purpose. You must become a student of yourself. Study your moods, your reactions, your fears, your blind spots. Watch them like a scientist. Learn them like a language. Because you can't lead a life you don't understand. And the more you understand yourself, the less control the world has over you. When you know your patterns, you can change your outcomes. And when you take control of your inner world, the outer world begins to bend. Success becomes a matter of precision, not accident. And that's the level of responsibility few are willing to accept, because when there's no one left to blame, the only thing left to do is grow. There will be days when the grind feels endless, days when the fire dims and your faith gets tired. But these are not signs to quit. These are signs to deepen, to dig beneath the surface and reconnect to your reasons. You are not here to dabble. You are not here to try. You are here to transform. And transformation doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in pressure. It happens when you push through resistance. When you say yes to the work, even when everything in you wants to run, that's the moment you separate from who you were and step into who you're becoming. That is the threshold between dreaming and doing. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to be consistent. You don't need a revolution. You need rhythm, daily action, grounded discipline, sustained over time. That is how empires are built. That is how lives are changed. One small decision at a time, one early morning, one disciplined choice, one courageous hour. Stack enough of those moments, and you will wake up one day living a life that once seemed impossible. Not because you were lucky, but because you were loyal. Loyal to your vision, loyal to your habits, loyal to the version of you who refused to settle, and you will lose people along the way. People who don't understand your discipline. People who resent your rise. People who confuse your clarity with arrogance. Let them go. The price of becoming your highest self is often paid in silence and solitude. But the ones who remain, the few who see you, who believe in you, without needing to be convinced, those are the ones worth keeping. The rest are part of the shedding. Growth doesn't just add, it subtracts. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away from the versions of yourself that keep choosing comfort over change. You must outgrow your old story. The one that says, I'm not ready. The one that whispers, who do you think you are? The one built from old wounds, handed down fears, and secondhand beliefs. Burn that script. Write a new one. One where you are the author, not the victim. One where your past is a lesson, not a limitation. One where every failure becomes fuel, every mistake becomes mastery, and every setback becomes setup. That is how you evolve, not by erasing the past, but by using it as a launching pad. Success is not for the loud. It's for the clear. It's for those who no longer need to prove, they just perform. Who no longer seek validation, they create value. Who no longer beg for permission, they build regardless. And if you're serious, if you're ready, if you're done playing small, then you know what needs to be done. Work, not to be seen, not to impress, not to go viral, but to become. To build a life that speaks so loudly, you never have to. You don't need more time. You need more focus. Because focus compresses time. What most people do in 5 years, the focused man can do in 1. But you cannot be focused if you are addicted to distraction. So disconnect from the noise, from the opinions, from the endless consumption of advice you never implement. Starve your distractions. Feed your execution. Let your results be your response to doubt. Let your habits speak louder than your words. That's the path. Not glamorous, not sexy, just real, just yours. And that's what makes it powerful. If you want to be uncommon, you have to do what the common man won't. Wake up earlier. Study longer. Train harder. Be more honest. Follow through when it's hard. Stay kind when it's easy to be cruel. Deliver when no one's watching. All of these are rare. All of these are marks of the uncommon. And that's what success demands, that you stop blending and start building. That you stop performing for applause and start preparing for impact. Not everyone will get it. But you didn't start for everyone. You started because something in you knew that mediocrity wasn't your ceiling. And now you've come too far to go back. This life will test you. It will break you to shape you. It will challenge your patience, your character, your hunger. And every test has one question beneath it. Are you still serious? Because the moment you hesitate, the moment you compromise, the moment you let temporary feelings override permanent vision, you lose ground. But if you stand, if you recommit, if you anchor yourself in purpose every time it gets hard, then you become unshakable. And when you are unshakable, no storm can stop you. No loss can break you. No failure can define you. You were not born to be average. You were not born to survive. You were born to rise, to lead, to build, to become the kind of person your younger self would be proud of and your future self will thank. You were born to be a builder of self, of legacy, of something that lasts longer than you. And it begins not with some grand event, but with work. Humble, daily, intentional. Work that honors your gifts. Work that respects your future. Work that, when compounded, builds a destiny so strong it can't be denied. So work. Work when it's hard. Work when it's quiet. Work when you're tired. Work when you're doubted. Work like you mean it, like your future depends on it, because it does. And if you work hard, and you work smart, and you work with heart, success will not only come to you, it will stay with you, not as a visitor, but as a partner, a reflection, a reward earned, not given. And when that final moment comes, when you look around and realize that the life you're living used to be the life you only imagined, you will not feel surprised. You will feel fulfilled. You will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel ready. Because you didn't stumble into greatness. You earned it with the slow burn of relentless consistency. You shaped it with the fire of discipline, the focus of intent, and the courage to act without applause. Success didn't come to you by accident. It followed the scent of your effort, the rhythm of your daily grind, the clarity of your inner command. And now that it's here, it feels not like something you acquired, but something you remembered. Something you've been becoming all along. You will stand taller. Not because others see you differently, but because you see yourself clearly. You will walk lighter. Not because the road got easier, but because your legs got stronger. You will speak slower, not because you lack urgency, but because your words carry weight. You will smile deeper, not because everything is perfect, but because you are at peace with the imperfections and still rising. That is the reward. That is the wealth. A life sculpted by your own hands. A mind untangled from the lies of laziness. A soul on fire with purpose, not borrowed purpose, not secondhand ambition, but yours built in silence, earned in solitude, and revealed only when the time is right. The crowd will wonder how it happened. They will ask what changed, but you will know it wasn't one thing. It was everything. It was the nights you didn't quit, the books you studied when others scrolled, the habits you hammered into place when no one was cheering, the boundaries you held, the sacrifices you made, the self-doubt you silenced, the courage you practiced, the truth you chose. Every decision, every discipline, every delay of gratification was a vote cast for your future. And now the votes have been counted. And the result is here. Your new life. Built, not wished. Forged, not fantasized. And when you speak of success, you will not talk about numbers. You will talk about freedom. The freedom to move with integrity. The freedom to spend your time where it matters. The freedom to give without expectation. To teach without fear. To rise without needing permission. That is the real definition of getting rich, not just money in the bank, but power in your voice, peace in your soul, and fire in your walk. And all of it, every drop, was born in work. So do not shrink. Do not slow down. Do not apologize for your intensity. The world is hungry for examples. Be one. The world is aching for builders. Become one. The world is drowning in noise. Be the signal. Let your actions echo louder than opinions. Let your life preach louder than your lips. And let your commitment to the work day by day, brick by brick, become your most powerful form of self-respect. Because success does not visit the ones who wait. It does not pity the ones who wish. It does not console the ones who merely dream. It bows to those who wake up early, speak with clarity, move with conviction, and finish what they start. And if that is you, if that is who you are becoming, then listen closely. Your moment is already on its way. Your name is being written in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your work is speaking in places you haven't visited. Your future is responding to the seeds you planted when no one believed. So water them, tend them, guard them, let them grow. Work like the door is already opening. Work like your life depends on it. Work like someone you love is watching, because one day they will be. And when they ask you how you did it, how you became who you are, how you built a life that commands respect, radiates purpose, and overflows with quiet power, you'll tell them the truth. I worked hard, and success came to me, and it will keep coming because you kept becoming. That is the code. That is the law. That is the promise. Now rise and go do the work.